So I love the Tenderloin. It's an interesting part of the city. That being said, it's happened to all of us. We've been walking around downtown Union Square. Maybe we just left Macy's with our mother and are talking about how wonderful the city is. And we turn the corner and we think, where the hell am I? Did I just walk onto something between the Walking Dead set and a giant outdoor urinal? And that is our Tenderloin. So if you're like me, you wondered, why has a city that's undergone this process of expensification in every area of every corner of it, why has this not touched the Tenderloin? And I think it's very simple, and I'm going to explain it today. So first, where is the Tenderloin exactly? It's the area between Union Square, Van Ness Avenue on one dimension, Market Street and Geary Street on the other dimension. But it's kind of one of those things where you just know when you're there. If you're walking down the street and there's a guy defecating on the sidewalk, you're probably in the Tenderloin. Our story begins in 1906. So there was a big earthquake. San Francisco had a need for a lot of housing, short-term worker housing, for obvious reasons. And San Francisco's answer to this need was a single-room occupancy hotel, or an SRO. And an SRO consists of these tiny rooms or units or whatever that are 10 by 12 feet. They don't have a bathroom. Maybe you have a sink. That's it. Like your entire apartment unit is just this room. You have to share a bathroom with the people on your floor. If there's a kitchen in the building, you have to share with everybody in your building. And this was kind of fine for a while. A lot of workers lived here, a lot of students, people that were in town for a couple days, very temporary housing. And then the 60s and 70s hit. What happened in the 60s and 70s is people with money left. They went to the suburbs. They went to Marin. Marin's population went from 50,000 to 250,000 in like a decade and a half. And the SRO units started being, there was not much demand. So government agencies started looking at the SROs as a place to put their constituents for a short-term basis. A lot of older people, people with disabilities, a lot of mentally ill people started being sent to the Tenderloin. And it was supposed to be temporary housing, but it became permanent. These people couldn't live, they couldn't move out, they didn't have resources. So the cohort of people that lived in the Tenderloin kind of shifted in the 60s and 70s. And then the 70s hit. And I don't know if you guys remember the word stagflation. So stagflation was a combination of very high inflation and very low income growth. And so you saw a lot of price controls kind of hit the market at the federal level and the local level. We saw rent control hit the books here in San Francisco in 1979. San Francisco went one step further. They saw the SROs as a great source of affordable housing, and they wanted to protect it. So they put a moratorium on the conversion or demolition of that SRO stock. And that's when it happened. 20,000 SRO units, bam, they got frozen in time. And you can guess where they're concentrated. They're concentrated in the Tenderloin. Also, there's a lot in Chinatown, but most of them are in the Tenderloin. And you might be wondering, well, okay, what does this have to do with the craziness I see when I walk down Turk Street? Well, most people you see doing crazy stuff in the Tenderloin, they're not homeless. Most of them are not homeless. They live in these SRO units. And what do these SRO units look like? You've seen them. You walk right by them probably several times. They're called hotels, crappy hotels. You might recognize a couple of these. You probably walked by and said, is that really a hotel? Who would stay there? My gosh. Well, it's not really a hotel in the way we think of hotel. They're these SRO units, and they're really cheap. Your average SRO costs about $1,000 a month, and you can pay by the day, you can pay by the week, you can pay by the month. A studio literally right next door, building right next door, that's maybe 350 square feet. You have a kitchen though and a bathroom. That's $1,800, but you need credit and you need down payment. The people that live in the SROs, that's way beyond them. There are a lot of homeless in the Tenderloin, which is fair. And the reason that there's a lot of homeless in the Tenderloin is the services that cater to the homeless are concentrated also in the Tenderloin. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is cheap rent, but also a lot of the constituents that they cater to, a lot of the homeless people, these nonprofits also cater to the people that live in the SROs. So what I want you to walk away with is that the Tenderloin is not going to change. This SRO moratorium that was put on the books is in place, and until that goes away, that housing stock is going to remain kind of frozen in time. But I love the Tenderloin. There's lots of great things in the Tenderloin, lots of great restaurants, lots of good whiskey bars. There's Bourbon and Branch. We got Tradition, my favorite whiskey thieves. So my advice to you is just step over the poop and enjoy some whiskey.